The circus is in the Chicago area for a month, and the train stays in one location during that entire time, in the Galewood Yard on the city's northwest side. It's more or less equidistant from the All-State Arena in suburban Rosemont and the United Center downtown. The last time the Blue Unit was in Chicago, the weather was awful. Unrelenting rain, snow, and cold. Not this November. Sun and mid-60s much of the time. Just the kind of weather these elephants enjoyed to the fullest extent possible. And, a few yards away, these kings of the jungle took in some rays and watched as two new lion cubs were readied for a walk in the sun. Lion handler Cat Kirkman is in the cage with Wolfgang and Samson. It's a bit of a struggle to get the collar on.
No fight.
These lion cubs are about 6 months old. They each weigh around 75 pounds and have claws that can make you feel their pain. Moments later, there they are. Samson doesn't like the idea of being left behind while his brother is out for a walk. He's the strong but not silent type. His dismay is infectious. The other lions pick up the chorus, and for several minutes it is raucous in the lion tent. How do they get on as brothers?
They do well together. They get upset when the other one's out of sight, so that's why we got both of them out now. He's a good boy, Wolfie in the blue. Samson's an ornery twerp. Who's the bully?
These cubs can be a handful. All these lions are owned by lion tamer and presenter Jason Peters. That's him up there on the tractor hood, leading the charge into the arena. Jason's the one who sticks his head in Sasha's mouth during his center ring performance. We chatted with him at the United Center rehearsal. He invited me into the cage before the beasts were let in. I courteously declined, remaining on the outside of the cage. How does a guy like you, a normal-looking guy, get to be the kind of fellow who has his head in a lion's mouth?
That's the old cliche. I mean, my dad's an animal trainer, you know, so I went to college and I didn't like the normal life, stuck in an office or whatever, so I sort of went to what I sort of know a little bit, you know, I have a go at that, travel the world. It's not a job, it's a way of life, you know, it's a way of life.
Do you become attached to these beasts?
Yeah, of course you do. It's, you know, they're my partners and they're my children, really, my extended family, you know. You know, everybody has a different character, and you know, some days they have a good day and a bad day. You've just got to learn, you know, you learn and grow with the animals, and they learn and grow with me.
Bob Cox, he of parachuting bear fame, had a surprise event prepared backstage at the Rosemont Arena. His target, Jim Bowers, the Backstage stage manager. Up there in the dark recesses of the ceiling is a tray full of talcum powder. When Jim goes to drive the line of carts out of this cul-de-sac, a thin wire will be pulled and the load of powder dumped on the unsuspecting Jim. Now, there are several other people who didn't know, too, and they're kind of in the way of the camera as the moment of dusk nears.
But I took a shower this morning. Welcome to the circus.
Having a sense of humor is very helpful in situations like this.
Welcome to the three-ring adventure. This is Sean on Chance.
Out on the arena floor, it's time for another three-ring adventure in advance of the performance. There's Greg Parks handling the MC chores since Kelly left to be boss clown of the Red Unit. Greg is leaving at the end of this year. Jason Gibson has slipped nicely into his production manager role.
Ladies and gentlemen, the three-ring circus adventure is now concluded, but there are more smiles, laughs, chills, and thrills in store. Please return to your seats. The greatest show on earth is about to begin. Thank you.
It is behind the scenes, backstage, where a lot of the action happens. The space varies a lot depending on the arena. Here in Rosemont, a steep ramp from the parking lot feeds into a flat area, and then another steep ramp up to the portal and onto the arena floor. Things break. Jim has recovered from his talcum powder experience and is working on the clown car bumper. Here, a new axle is being welded onto the wagon that carries the pigs to their spot on the arena floor. The pigs were heavier than the cart was designed to hold. Jim says a new cart will be put into action during the December break. Meanwhile, the current one is under the welder's torch. Dan, one of the new clowns, is getting used to being on stilts. Not as easy as the clowns make it appear. As showtime approaches, the bustle factor increases dramatically. The clowns have their pre-performance cheer ready. This one chides Tina, the flag lady. She soon appears and is up on Karen for the parade around the arena's hippodrome track, while Kevin sings the national anthem before each performance. The beginning of each show sets off a maelstrom of activity backstage. What seems at times to be chaos resolves itself into an ordered staging of each performer, vehicle, and animal. Everyone has a place in the opening number. There's a lot of activity, some of it involving animals weighing thousands of pounds whose movements could spell injury to someone not aware of the danger. So Jim Bowers makes sure to yell anytime the beasts are on the move, especially when they're on the move at a trot. David Larible is pleased to be appearing in this latest Circus Train Adventure video.
This is going to be number 4.
This is 4.
Oh my God. I feel like Sylvester Stallone.
Now here's some more on that steep ramp. The clown car, packed with clowns, usually comes into the arena floor like this. But in Rosemont, the ramp is steep, and the car can run into trouble if it stops on the way up the ramp, which is what happened here. Backstage, people are pushing the car. The back end is heavy with clowns, and the front end has tipped up into the air. Finally, Shandor gets out and comes into the ring to get something, anything going. And seconds later, the car finally makes it. What goes on the floor must come off. Ari and Mari are aboard their elephants at the end of the first act. They make it look easy. Sylvia Zerbini and her horse and trapeze act get full attention from everyone when she's performing. But I've noticed there is a teeny little performance that happens in the near darkness just in front of the portal as she leaves the arena. The clowns have taken over, and Sylvia and the last horse to perform do a little pirouette in front of the curtain before going off stage. Turns out the explanation is interesting. This horse was to have done a stand on his back feet number, which got moved to the center ring during the show's first rehearsals. But because they want the horse to remember that spot, this circling movement happens at every performance. Chicago's Chinatown was a setting for a circus PR event. A bright, sunny morning at an elementary school, and a perk for Kevin right in front of the building.
One redeeming factor about this morning, Ringmaster parking.
In the school gymnasium, 4 circus clowns would compete with kids from the school to see who could eat the most noodles in a 3-minute period.
Good morning, boys and girls.